Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I am here. I am here. Are you? Are you here? Are you here? Good evening. Are you here? I am here. Are you here? Are you here? I'm here. Are you ready? I'm here. Good evening, good night. It's Saturday. It's the 13th of January 2024. Our first official Phoenix Free Press for 2024. Official, superficial, official. No, not superficial. Superficial is not really real, right? So no. Yes. Good evening. Welcome to Phoenix Free Press. I'll give you an opportunity to drop your comments. Let me know that you're here. What is your drink of choice? We are here. I am here tonight. We have John Mussington joining us at 8:30. John Mussington from Antigua, Barbuda. And we have Kelvin Shuggy Simon joining us from Antigua, Barbuda also. Kelvin Shuggy Simon is from the United Progressive Party. He's from the opposition. You know, every time I attend the post cabinet press briefing, even this last one, the first for the new year I attended, I'm still getting comments that I'm peddling the UPP's agenda. I keep getting these comments. I got these comments when I was, working and partnering with ZDK and Sean Bird at ZDK. I got these comments. And it was very frustrating because not even Sean knew the research I was doing, the work I was doing. Like, I was giving Sean information. First of all, this is not my intro. I have a whole intro, nice setup. It's a new year. We doing this thing like That's not my intro. That's not the intro. Nikki, follow the script. I never follow the script. I create my own script and I still do not follow the script. Okay. But I see that Tina's drinking water. Good evening, Tina. James, what are you drinking? Official, what are you drinking? Marie, what are you drinking? You guys out there, what is your drink of choice? Well, tonight I have 3 glasses. I'm having my coffee. I'm having a sip of water. And then I'm having a glass of, for later, because we're going to need it. We're going to need it. Some nice liqueur. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. I don't know what you get, but you're going to need it. You're going to need it. Fever grass, Marie, girl. Oh, fever grass. That is it. Okay. But let's get started tonight. Let me go to the script so we can get started, get things rolling, so we can get John in here, and then we can get Kelvin in here on the platform so that we can get this rolling for tonight. Welcome to Phoenix Free Press. 1 minute. Are you sharing the live? Are you sharing the live? Are you letting everyone know that we are here? We are here. I am here. I see the One Nation concert start too. That's where we're going to be jumping there and here. What are we going to be doing? Those who are loyal will be here. But don't feel anywhere. Be anywhere you want to be. It's a free space, a free platform. If you're here for the education, if you're here for the facts, if you're here for the truth, stick around. We don't want you just repeating anything that you might hear. We want you to understand, and we want you to, be serious, and we want you to change your mindset. It's 2024. We're not doing we're not doing what we did in 2023 and the years gone by. Everybody gotta own their shit. Okay? I said it. It's 2024. They gotta own this shit. People gotta own this shit. Stop trying to cover up for everybody. Stop trying to make excuses. Those of you that support Any party, either party, stop trying to hold their shit for them. Stop trying to carry their shit for them. Everybody got to own the shit. That's the hashtag for tonight. Own your shit. Hashtag. So, are you here? We're here. I do not see much. Oh, I see a raspberry lime. Oh, nice. Ginger ale and lemon tea. Nice, nice, nice. Sounds pretty tempting and tasty. We're going to get into it tonight. Remember to share the live, please. Leave your comments. Let me know that you're here. All right. What I'm doing, what is Nikki doing? I'm sending the link to I'm sending the link to John Mussington and Kelvin one time. That's what I'm doing. All right. All right. Okay, guys. Let me go to the script. I prepared the script. We're going to stick to the script. Let's stick to the script. So my script says, our script for tonight, because we have to stay on track. It's not a script word for word, but we need to get our monologue together, get our vision for tonight's conversation out, because it's the very first show, very first program, very first open, independent chat that we're going to have tonight. And it's not a chat, again, I do not want it to come from the perspective of bashing the government. It's not every single time an issue is to be addressed. It's always divided with rose colored glasses, whether it's going to be the UPP, ABLP, the DNA, if there is still a DNA, go green if there ever was, yada, yada, yada. You get my point? You get me? So the aim on Phoenix Free Press, the work and the energy and the effort that I'm putting in, that I'm pushing for every single time I sacrifice sleep or time or any sacrifices, because many sacrifices are being made, is for us to raise the level of our understanding as a people, for us to raise our consciousness, for us to understand that we deserve better. This relationship that we have as voters and the government, citizens, or citizenry and the government, this relationship is a relationship that you should take just as serious as you're taking your relationship with your husband or your wife, the relationship that you have with your children, the relationship that you have with the most high God. Relationship, and in relationships there need to be respect. In relationship there need to be an understanding. In a relationship, people need to own their shit, like literally. Just can't keep carrying it for them, can't keep carrying people's issues for them. And the present government of Antigua and Barbuda is not owning this shit, because everybody else carrying their shit for them. Everybody else, like who? The supporters. And every single supporter during the time of election, you're crying out, you're the loudest, you're on social media, you're airing out all the issues and concerns that you see happening in the country. When it's time to vote, you're still not having the government own their shit. On the 6th of January, 2023, we're about to celebrate 1 year anniversary of Prime Minister Gaston Brown, getting a third term. But in that third term, how did he achieve that third term? Was he honest? Was he truthful with his promises? Did he deliver within the last year on those promises? You ABLP supporters, UPP supporters, DNA supporters, green, go green, every single citizen of Antigua and Barbuda. I'm looking at you and I'm asking you. I'm asking the businessmen. I'm asking the truck driver. I'm asking the teacher. I'm asking the nurse. I'm asking the doctor. I'm asking the sister that has her children, those who are struggling. I'm asking you, within the last year, the burden, the shit that you've been carrying, has it been eased? We're about to step into a whole new year, 2024. Many of you might not be watching this live because you're getting ready to go to a One Nation concert. Again, not letting the government own their shit. There's an issue at the port at the moment, hasn't been addressed. The hospital, no AC. Should we continue listing? But we have a free concert. Well, it's not really free, but we have a concert. One nation coming together. That's the objective. That's the language, the reasoning, quote unquote, behind this. But it's all to keep you in a drunken soup. But you don't have no time. You have no time, no space, no energy to focus on anything else or any other issue, to see that you need to raise the level of your expectations in this relationship. Sorry, relationship. Take a sip. So, what's in store tonight? It's 2024, and people just need to own this shit. I'm just saying it. Repeat it after me. It's 2024. I will let people own their shit. Let's start with the ABLP government. You want to start with those promises that I'm talking about? Should I go read them? Should I read it on the flyer? It's on the ABLP page. I asked Melfred Nicholas, Honorable Melfred Nicholas, about it. These issues not important to you? These issues are not of concern. Is it a red or a blue issue? You see, when you got to pay how much ever you're paying right now for bread and cheese, bread or bun and cheese, is whether you're ABLP, UPP, DNA, wherever, whichever country, wherever, you're paying the same price. But understand, some of those who are singing like singing canaries for the ABLP got some good jobs. They have some good links. They're already in the boat. And those who are singing are trying to get in the boat. And those who are struggling and suffering, but refuse to accept that they're struggling and suffering, is all a facade, a facade. And then ever so often you would see them on social media when nobody's looking. They put a post. Oh, the police is so disappointing because the police is not doing their job. Oh, the Ministry of Health is a, oh, and I'm so disappointed. 2% tax. Effective the 1st of January 2024. 2% tax in your tail, one time. But on the 6th of January 2024, no new tax, and also reducing of the present tax that you have. Put me back in power. Me, Nikki Phoenix, vote for me. I will make your life much easier. Now, will I? Did you? 2% tax in your tail. No questions, no negotiations, no consultation, no nothing. Because you're just going to grumble, but then you're going to pay it. And I'm just going to give you another free concert. The land that Dunbars. The rhetoric. Antigua need housing. We need more homes. People need to own their homes. Yeah, you are right. But let's look a little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit deeper in that. Do we understand how we use and allocate land? What type of land you'd use for farming? What type of land you'd use for an airport? What type of land you'd use for building houses? Say, isn't that where the DCA and the scientists and the distant that comes in? No. Now, if individuals who have good knowledge, good understanding, saying that this land here, this is arable land, arable, pristine land, land that is ideal for farming, and land that is ideal for farming is a totally different land texture. And John, come in. John might help us with this. Totally different texture to the type of land that you'd use to put an airport or to put the houses we're talking about. And let's not talk about the threats, the muzzling, the stitching up of our lips, of your mouth. In 2024, I'm going to shut you up But by threatening to sue you, I'm gonna sue your pants off. I'm gonna sue your ass. Shut up. I'm gonna sue you. Intimidation. Yeah. But what are you gonna do about it? You can't even think or focus. You're going to a free concert, aren't you? Or you're too burdened and stressed to even think about that. Me not time for that. Me not time to think about that. You know that wasn't my script. That was not the script. That was not the script. It's just not the script because we don't need a script. You don't need a script. You just know, you just need to open your eyes. You just need to, take off the glasses. You just need to make a conscious decision for yourself, just like in a relationship when you know it needs to be leveled up. Your government needs to level up. This is not leveling up. Adding 2%, 2%, 2% tax in your ass is not leveling up. That's more burden on your back. It's not leveling up, my love. It's not. And again, in 2024, everybody outside of Antigua, every other nation outside of Antigua, soaring. They're doing all kind of things. They're doing AI, artificial intelligence. They're doing, everything else. But what we do in our economic powerhouse, I'm gonna give you a hotel in your ass. You go carry this nice plate and smile for this white man, and you just like, and you look forward to a big tip if you're gonna get it. In 2024, we ain't coding, we ain't thinking of manufacturing. We're not thinking of the longevity. We ain't thinking about those things. We're thinking about hotels. That's the vision. Has a big vision. That vision was since Sir V.C. Bird. That vision was Sir Lester Bird. That vision is now Prime Minister Gaston Brown. That's your vision. That's vision. Is it time for John to come on? In a few minutes. I see the comments, but I'm not sure what some of the responses are and to who, and you know. When John comes tonight, let's talk about Barbuda. When John comes on tonight, we're going to ask John if he can share. We're going to ask John Mussington, who's a Barbudan, who stood up to the Antigua Barbuda Labour Party government. When I said stood up to them, as in stood up and continued to fight and took their issue all the way to the Privy Council. We all saw it on the television. We saw it clear and plain as day. We saw the big David Dorset that is in Antigua that always threatening people and doing Prime Minister's Gaston's work, whatever kind of work it is, doing his work and threatening people to shut them up and through and what's the word? Stitch up their lips. Hey, that same David Dorset was at the Privy Council, but my lord, but my lord, but my lord, but you run a but my lord, a shame that even Donna Shire and this guy that's running for Lamin Newton, he's now on the ABLP. He's running for All Saints West. And some people are always on Facebook saying they don't want him. I don't think he get the message yet. But anyway, segue from that. They were all in the room after the Privy Council. And the Prime Minister was saying that, David Dorset, they didn't represent. They didn't do a proper job. They didn't. And Donna Shire said, well, don't pay them. Don't pay them. Who was the them? Hugh Marshall and Dorset himself. But here, Your Honor, Hugh Marshall was asked, what is this square miles of Antigua and Barbuda? He looks over to John Mussington and everybody like, what is this in square mile? I was Antigua, Barbuda. That same David Dorset. Hmm? To try and shut people up and intimidate them. But yes, let's ask John how much the land is going for. Barbuda is 62 square miles. How much? Repeat after me. If you know Hugh Marshall, just give him a nudge and wake him up, because people who are always like, always, let's wake him up. Hugh Marshall, wake up. Antigua Barbuda is 62 square miles. Antigua is 108. Yeah. 62 square miles. And I trust we can ask John if he can tell us how much those little piece of land in Barbuda going for. Because you know what the Prime Minister is aiming for? He's aiming for luxury locations. Now, luxury locations, according to my research, luxury. Can I find something that's luxurious? It's not a dollars per square foot. Mm-mm. Luxury is millions, in the millions. All right. $4 million US. For it. Hey, yeah. Barbadians can afford that. Antiguans can afford that. Anybody in the Caribbean can afford that. So, where's the space for the people that keep in the country, the same small business, the small man, the taxpayers, all the government workers, to keep all those government facilities working? Are you benefiting? But who is really benefiting? Who is really benefiting? But all I can do is give you a free concert, and I can give you a ham and a turkey. And I'm going to come on the radio airwaves, because I create a whole radio station for myself, because I understand. I'm smart. I understand it's smart. So I'm gonna, keep certain things in your ears. Just a certain people, a few, have to say it. I can say some kind of bullshit, and they're gonna run with it. You know, just get them. They're gonna run with it. They don't understand. They don't know, but they're gonna run with it. And that's what you keep doing, running with the bullshit. You're running with the shit that's coming out of the politician's mouth. You just and you run with it. But 2024, come on, level up. Mm-mm. Level up. 5 minutes to. Let's see if John is ready. All right, John is gonna join any minute now. Speak, you speak. Yes, I said speak, you speak. Okay? Don't speak from everybody else. Don't just, not even from me. Don't just say whatever you hear me say. Go and do the research for yourself. It's not hard. It's not a lot of work. It's right there. The things are right there. The amount of things that happen within December coming into January, December 2023 coming into January, the amount of decisions, legislations, the amount of, okay, wait, let me read one. Wait. Didn't I save it? Nikki saves everything she came across. Hold on. Where is it? This one is the subject: shareholders' invitation to address complaints concerning disposal of dredge materials from Crabs Channel. That's one. But you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention to that. You have other things to do. And it's like distract you, and let me just tell you what it is. Let me give you a 6 4 a 9 and just leave you just yeah. Let me just do that. That's the idea. And in 2024, we're still okay with it. To 2024, we're going hard for political parties. In 2024, we're going hard for red or blue or green or purple or orange. We're going hard in 2024 and 2023 when things so hard, when your life ain't getting better. No, man. Nonsense. Oh, the word tonight, bullshit. This one here. This is the freshest of the freshest, fresh off the ice. Asha, thank you for having it on your page. Asha, where is it? I was just on Asha's page. Where am I? Oh, I didn't see what I want to see. Yes, this one here. January 4th, 2024. This is Secretary of the Cabinet. It's in circulation. It's on social media. Yeah. Hold on. Policy on the payment of dividends by statutory corporations and government-owned companies. As a matter of policy, Cabinet agreed that a minimum of 50% dividend payment on profit surplus should be remitted by all statutory corporations and government-owned companies to the consolidated fund effective 1st of January 2024. On the post-cabinet press briefing on Thursday, I wouldn't call her name. If I need to, I'll call her name. But one of the ABLP supporters. The government need money to pay the taxes. We want nice things, but we can't pay for it. Girl, label the nice things that we've gotten since we've had the ABLP. They've done some stuff. Don't let me elaborate or exaggerate. All right. Label for the first year, this last year here, label the nice things that they did. Label it. In the last year, just come on to this live, go on your own live, go on your WhatsApp and just shut me up. Go on your Facebook and shut me up and list, itemize within the last year. Because if it's not the hospital, it's the prison. If it's not the prison, it's the people striking. If it's not the people striking, is Latifah George losing her life at Clearview. If it's not Latifah losing her life at Clearview, is the amount of missing young men that we have in Antigua that just can't be found as yet. And don't tell me no nonsense that government don't miss some people. No, government don't miss some people, but we put certain things in place, even with regards to the cameras around the island, the roads, the lighting, everything. Don't come with no nonsense. It's 2024. Don't come with the bullshit. Don't come with it. Not tonight. It's horrible. It's ridiculous. And you know why I'm really irked tonight? You know, I'm really pumped and I'm just like, all bets are off. Like, this thing serious? I remember at the beginning of January 2023, I came right here on social media and I started doing 10 days countdown to elections. Last year, January 2023, 10-day countdown for elections. And then we got all these grandiose promises. And we had Antigua Airways coming in. Antigua Airways came and went. And then what? We had people who lost their lives. Like just tonight, I received Happy New Year messages again from one of the young men that died, sister. Remember, 16 people, 13 bodies not recovered. Antigua Barbuda. That within that year, that's the year. That's it. But no inquiry because there will be none. I said there will be none, and there will be none. Like Thursday when I asked Honorable Melfred Nicholas with regards to the Dunbars, will you have a negotiation, sit down and, listen to the protesters at Dunbars? No, it's a dead issue. That it's dead, it will fall sideways. They will, we put them somewhere else. Does the government listen to you? No. They just know how to do what they want to do and just get you to follow along. Just get you to comply like a sheep and goat. Goat. Bear goat. Let's see if John is here. We got to check in on John. And he's supposed to be coming. Well, no, don't let me give his business. Can't talk to my business. Hold on. Let me just check to see if he's in position, as you'd say. Hmm. Hey, John, you can join now, you know. Yes, I said. Oh, oh, no problem. We're here. We'll wait for you. That's fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye. See, like I was about to tell John's business. That wouldn't be right. That wouldn't be right. Wouldn't be right. So why are we inviting John? The Privy Council has not given his man. I look so nice tonight. I put some effort into it, you know. I put some effort in. Eh. Jay, truth. Come on. Be nice. And don't bring up old stories and old Facebook posts, okay? Good. No distractions. But anyway, John is about to log in, and Kelvin Shiggy Simon will be joining soon also. But I want us to have a conversation with John. But just to highlight a few things as I give John a couple of minutes to join, because he just mentioned, yes, I saw that the Adrian is saying that John is still live and Antigua Observer. He actually just left, and he's gonna find a spot and we're gonna do this. John Mussington is gonna join us. The Privy Council has not given a verdict as yet. However, when if we do the calculation of the days, it's any day now, any week now, any time now. We're in that season for it to happen. Man, Jay Truth, I'm gonna hide the comments because I see the comments and it have me smiling. I'm like, might be right. You might be right. I know, right? But yes, the Privy Council has not given its verdict. So tonight, when we speak to John, I think one of the first questions that we're going to ask him is, either way, how is it going to affect Barbuda? And not only Barbuda, because it's a ripple effect. This particular case, John Mussington versus the government of Antigua and Barbuda regarding the airport and how things proceeded and is still proceeding, it will determine many factors, many factors. And the verdict is any day now, anytime now, and it can go, it is anybody's game, or it can go any way at this particular time. So I don't see him join us yet. Let's Yes. So again, and if you haven't been following the Privy Council case, if you have not been following what happened, what transpired at the Privy Council, understanding the depth of should the Privy Council say, we don't even know what they're going to say, so I can't even assume, because there were many questions at the Privy Council. There were many questions with regards to registration, with regards to consultation with the people of Barbuda. There were many areas that they were asking for factual information. They were asking for documentation. They wanted to connect the dots because, again, it's not Dolly House we're running when we run a country. It's not. It's not. I say we got 5 million and a five. Isn't there a cartooning like that says a 4 billion and another not 10 billion? It's not that. It's actual crunching of numbers. It's showing it. It's showing exactly what's happening day to day. It's procedure. It's process. It's following policies. So there are policies and procedures that must be followed. That's just basic rule of governance, if we can say it like that. Accountability, integrity, and the accountability definitely comes when you're able, as the government, to show the people the money, show them how the money is being spent, show them, how the hospital is being run, give them an idea of what is happening step by step. He might not be able to tell us everything, but give us a step by step understanding so that the true and real confidence can be built in you, and you don't do the divide and conquer situation where you have the ABLP against the UPP, but everybody poor, everybody broke, everybody struggling, but you just have everybody fighting against each other while you and other individuals enjoy the life. Not fair. Not fair, but John is here, everybody. John is in the house. John Mussington, good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Good evening, Nikki, and good evening to your audience out there. I think it's the first time I'm being on this platform, and I
Yes,
hope we can have a very productive conversation in
of
terms of those
course.
issues which are facing us.
Yes, man, of course. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation to be on the platform tonight. I want us to just jump into the conversation any day now. Is the talk and it's the atmosphere or the feel of the atmosphere with regards to the Privy Council's verdict. Because the Privy Council's they heard the case on the 8th of November, correct?
Correct.
And they did say within 8 to 12 weeks they'll provide their verdict.
Correct. So 8 weeks will take us to about February, and
Hmm.
January we're in the approaching the middle of January now. So in fact,
Yes.
we are hoping and preparing that we're going to be hearing the verdict pretty soon.
Okay. How do you feel? How does Jackie feel? How does the team at Glen feel?
We are feeling very confident because based on the way in which the hearing went, and you were there, Nikki, in terms of the number of questions that you saw the judges ask the lawyers for the government side and the kind of arguments that were raised. At one point, one of the judges actually said that was the least attractive argument he has heard in the Privy Council history in terms of a particular point that a government lawyer was making. So there's that confidence, but at the same time, there's the caution that the judges are independent and they're going to make up their mind based on evidence which is placed on them. So we have to leave room for what comes down in any eventuality. We are hoping for the best, and as they say, preparing for the worst. But what I want persons to understand is that whichever way the verdict comes, we will remain Barbudans and we will remain in terms of our fight. We will remain active in terms of fighting for our rights, fighting for the control of our resources to benefit us as Barbudans first. Okay?
Yes.
So that
I
is
know
the
you
mood
said,
we're having right now.
yes, I understand. And I know that you said that you're preparing for the worst, but what can that worst be? And I'm sure that that worst might have been a conversation between yourself, Jackie, and your lawyers or
The
the
worst would be
PCs
that
representing you.
the worst will be in effect that we don't have standing, which is setting a precedent for every other Antiguan and Barbudan and St. Lucian and Belizean and New Providence residents, Haitian, because these issues that face us in terms of resources and rights in terms of environmental rights, because right now the United Nations is at the stage of recognizing a healthy and clean environment as a human right. And so we have the Escazú Agreement, that agreement which guarantees that persons who are affected by developments with regards to their resources and so on, the people who are affected have a right to be heard and a right to have information. So if there is a decision that goes against that, okay, that's what we would consider to be the worst, then it's not the end because clearly persons cannot exist with the international climate and the treaties that are signed and living under a situation where you cannot agitate and challenge for your rights as human beings. So that is how we're looking at it.
One of the lords during the Privy Council either mentioned, suggested, or the talk or the statement of digging up the airport came about. Um, After the Privy Council hearing, Prime Minister Gaston Brown, and I have the audio, Prime Minister Gaston Brown was on his radio station and he basically was challenging what was said, in the sense that he was saying he doesn't potentially, or he doesn't really agree with digging up the airport, because he said, I think either 70 million or 100 million was for the airport, spent for digging up the airport. And he said, who would pay for digging up the airport? Would the Privy Council do it, pay for it? Would John Mussington pay for it? What are your thoughts with regards to the airport being dug up, or the airstrip? Because the Lord did made a correction to, and saying it's just an airstrip, it's not an actual airport. But what are your thoughts and comments on that?
My thoughts on it, and this is one of the things that the Privy Council judges considered, because that particular issue, and the point that they're making very strongly, is that when laws are broken and you have to do things in terms of reparatory justice, that's what justice is all about. All right. So they're taking the attitude that, okay, this thing has already been built, the wrong has already been committed. So why are you going to undo it? If we follow to that reasoning, then you realize that the whole question, as people of African descent, the whole question of reparations can be looked at in that way. We,
Yes.
okay, they can use that, oh, you're already there, you are already enslaved, you're already living, so why are you going to dismantle? It's about reparations. And if it is that laws were broken and that particular airport is there causing harm, then why should we continue to allow it to continue causing harm? And these are the questions that have to be answered. And one of the judges rightly said that you have to take measures to try to undo and address the harms which are caused by this illegal act. You can't just leave it like that and say it's already there, so leave it. It's about reparations, reparatory justice. Okay?
Yes, land in Barbuda, and Barbuda's land is a very serious issue, and Barbudans stand so strong with regards to land and understanding the importance of it. Arable land is a different type of land than the land that you'd use to build a house on. I can only say this boldly because I was schooled by you, John.
Okay.
I
Yes.
have to let people know when I sit and talk, I do my research. So maybe they might have heard me saying about arable land, and
Yes.
so I want you to really,
Mhm,
I want you to dig in on this issue that's happening with the farmland at Dunbars,
mhm,
the protesting that's happening, the comments from Honorable Melford Nicholas with regards to just it's going to be a dead issue to some extent, not an exact quote from him like
mhm.
that. But just the ignoring of the needs and the cry of the people, and now bringing this rhetoric, or it's a factual to some extent, with regards to Antigua needing more houses, and needing to own their own homes. But this Dunbar's issue, and helping Antiguans to understand and appreciate value for land and the importance of land. Help us out here, please, John.
Yes. What persons have to keep in their mind first and foremost is the fact that all land is not equal. Land has what is called carrying capacity, and it has a situation where it's more suitable for doing certain things. When it comes to food production, all right, all land is not equal in terms of that. And the reality of this planet Earth, and part of that reality having to do with the climate crisis, is that we as human beings have to survive on certain basic requirements. Food is one of those. And food production is based on land, and that land has to be suitable in terms of agricultural production. On an island like Antigua and Barbuda, any small island, then the amount of arable land, in other words, land that is suitable for food production, it is finite and it is very limited. So wise administrations make it a point that you value the arable land that you have, just as how you're going to value your ability to feed yourself. And you do not take arable land and, the term that often used in terms of bringing it home, foreclose on your options. When you foreclose on your options, you can't do anything else. So when you dig it up, take off the topsoil, lay down concrete, there is no way that that land can return to its arable state. You have destroyed the food production capacity of that land forever. So you cherish those areas of your country where you can produce food, which is the arable land. So if you're going to be doing houses, you put housing developments on hillsides and on land that is not suitable for food production. And there are lots of land in Antigua that are not suitable for food production. So when you take a critical area like Donbass, where you not only produce food, but you do agricultural research, in other words, the adaptability that you require in terms of being able to survive this climate crisis, it needs adaptability. In other words, you have to find out and research ways of doing things differently. You have to produce crops that are able to withstand certain conditions. So the watermelon or the pumpkin or the sweet potato that can grow in conditions where you have lower rainfall or the conditions that we're going to be meeting in the climate crisis, you have to develop those crops. And so the area you're using to do that research, you're going to foreclose on your options and just bulldoze it out of existence. That is the height of foolishness. No sensible nation does that. It's a very serious thing. Okay? So that's the perspective that you have to take on that. That's the reality. So when you listen to what the ministers are saying and trying to cast it off as a matter that is not important, that is not true at all. Food security is absolutely essential. Okay?
All right. Land for sale in Barbuda. These luxury locations. I was saying in the beginning of our program tonight that I couldn't have given an exact figure with regards to the acre of land or the cost for these luxury locations, but Barbuda is only 66 is the Barbuda
62
is
square
only
miles.
62 square miles.
Mhm.
Give us some understanding of these little pieces of land and the cost for these luxury locations that are potential for Barbuda.
Okay, first of all, let me give you some reality because the persons who look at Barbuda and see it as just a real estate venture, they will be seeing 62 square miles. Let us be real. One third of Barbuda is actually wetlands. The Coddington Lagoon, the Goat Island Lagoon, the central wetland flashes in areas like that. One third of Barbuda is wetland, not suitable for building luxury homes on. So that's 21 square miles taken out of the picture. Okay?
Mhm.
Another third of Barbuda will become wetlands based on the climate crisis predictions. Sea levels are rising. The global climate has changed. So we can expect within a particular time frame that another third of Barbuda will become wetlands. That's another 21 miles. And don't say this is just theory. We are living it today. There are certain coastal roads that a few years ago used to be dry roads that are now under 3 or more feet of water permanently. The sandbar that forms the boundary of the lagoon, one of the way that respond to sea level rise is to migrate. It moves towards the shore. We have done the mapping and the GPS measurements to confirm the movement of that sandbar.
Mhm.
So, fact, we are only looking at 21 square miles with regards to long-term sustainability in terms of land that can be used for economic purposes like housing and that sort of thing. So when you look at it that way, and you are taking a situation where you're trying to develop a luxury real estate market where a lot that includes a house and a little piece of land can be selling for a minimum of 4.5 million US dollars. And we
Mhm.
recently heard the tourism minister saying that the Jumbibe model requires that you develop these lots for private homes that are selling for 10, sometimes 20 million US dollars. Then you can see what we're talking about in terms
Yeah.
of land sale and what the intention is. The reality is that Barbudans live on Barbuda. They farm, they graze animals, they utilized the land in a system of communal ownership for the longest while. Are we just going to disappear from Barbuda and allow land sales to create a luxury real estate market so that the billionaires can become richer in terms of more billions? So that is what is at stake. That is the reality. And the fact of the matter is, Barbudans will not relinquish our system of land and land ownership because we understand the finite nature of what we have to work with, and our survival is paramount. Okay,
Yes.
so I don't know if that answers your question, Nikki.
No, I think it does, and I trust that even with their answer, it would give our Antiguans a bit more balls in their understanding that land is important and they should defend what they know, and get more knowledge. And with regards to this Dunbar situation and any other situation, the 2% tax, the hospital, everything that is happening, that we just need to be a little bit more outspoken, not intimidated and taking off the rose colored glasses.
Yes.
At 9 o'clock, I have Kelvin, Shuggy, Simon joining us. So I know that I said to you, we'll chat for about 30 minutes or so. My next question and final question as we wrap it up is definitely the airport. What is going on with the airport? Right after the Privy Council, the Prime Minister said that within 2 or 3 weeks, the airport was going to open. And then the manager, I think, or the person for the airport resigned. A new person took the position. That person was given or said they were going to take 2 weeks or something like that to have the airport open. It's January 2024. What's the position with the airport in Barbuda?
The middle of December came and the airport never opened, and we have to understand in the context of our previous conversation in that what I said earlier, the notion is being pursued to say that, okay, it has already been built, it has already been opened, so why are you going to dig it up? So that is the motive. And that was the motive for pushing to open this thing by the middle of December. It just can't happen. It has not opened. There are too many issues surrounding the opening of that airport to make it happen. That is one of the biggest reasons when you look at what the previous um, airport authority chair said in terms of her resignation letter. These are real issues. You cannot force something to happen against international standards. Airports are governed by international procedures and laws. The Federal Airport Authority, the Federal Aviation Authority, and the Eastern Caribbean Airport Authority, they have a say in terms of certain things. The airport in Antigua has already been downgraded to a category 2. That has severe impact on us in terms of a tourism island. And when you're facing violations that might cause you to further slip, it's a very serious matter. You cannot force through things like that. And that is why you see that the December has gone. We're now in the new year, and that airport has not been open. There are too many issues surrounding that.
There was a little bit of whispering that I heard. You can confirm or deny, or if you don't know, you can just say you don't know. But there's some kind of collaboration and conversation of switching or using the present airport that you have in Barbuda to do some kind of transfer of something. Have you heard anything about that?
I've heard those rumors. I guess to the extent of trying to find workarounds, because what has been happening since the beginning of this airport construction is tweaking and ignoring national law and international law, and I suspect that that is still what is happening. So I think what the situation is that you have an operational airport that has certain requirements attached to it in terms of its operations, and in an effort to fast track the opening of this ill-advised and maybe illegally constructed airport, you're willing to transfer those controls and systems from the existing operation in the airport and stick it on to the one that's there. That's the rumor I'm hearing. Okay. And I think that's a very foolhardy thing to do if it is true, and it may land us in some more hot water. And I hope it doesn't, but you just can't do things ad hoc and ignore international standards and regulations just to facilitate your own ventures. Okay, that's not a good thing to do.
I still have 2 or 3 minutes and I want to squeeze everything out of it. How was your interview on Observer? I heard you were an observer.
Yes, the interview, as usual, was very vigorous, and it was this whole question of what was being said in another report just recently brought out by BBC, where the tourism minister was saying some very disparaging and untrue things about Barbuda. Okay, and things that we still have to be trying to dispel the myths and lies that are being told. For example, the picture is being painted that Barbudans just depend, for the most part, on taxpayers of Antigua to subsidize and pay their way over there, not bearing in mind that we pay taxes like anybody else, and we contribute per capita
Hmm.
more in terms of tax than the average Antiguan over there. So when you paint that sort of picture, and he's emphasizing that Barbuda is to move towards becoming, as he said, the Jumbi Bay model, private island. How can you have a private island when you have people living there for over 300 years and have built an economy? Okay.
Maybe there might be some kind of partition or something. You might be cut off from where you can go and where you can walk, and there's a particular fence. You look over the
Oh,
fence
and
and
buffer zones and so? They
Mhm.
call that apartheid. And apartheid, there was a long struggle in terms of Africans to abolish that inhuman and awful, shameful system. And you're
Yeah.
going to tell us you're going to be bringing back apartheid in this day and age to impose on us and Barbudans? We're not accepting that, sorry.
Final question. You're in Antigua. Are you there for the One Nation concert? And don't lie, John.
Nikki, I wish I had something to celebrate, but unfortunately, we're in 2024 and there's still public buildings in Barbuda just the way Irma left them.
Irma was 2017. What you saying?
2017, yes. Just as how Irma left them, the police station is still not repaired. The roads in Barbuda, dust is killing us from all that harmful development that
I
they're
heard
pushing
some
in terms of
roads were
that.
done in Barbuda, no?
Yes, there's a brand new road leading from the airport to connect to the private residences of the enclaves so that when the private jets land on the private airport, they don't have to see um, anything else except a lovely road to take them to their private residences that are behind barbed wire and high fences and military tight security.
Wow.
Okay?
Well, you have a lot to celebrate. If you don't go to the concert, still have a drink because we want to give you a toast. And I'm so serious about this. You're one of the strongest Barbudans I know, one of the strongest men. And you're one of the men that held your balls in your hand and say, Here, Gaston, these are my balls. Bring
You have
yours.
some real Barbarians still alive. And Nikki, I'm
You
going
took
to
it all
let's
the way to the privy council to do that.
yes, and let's make a date, Nikki. We're going to be very hopeful. When we
Yes,
get that good news in terms of that victory, I'm
right
going to
here.
pull out my glass and we're going to have that date and we're going to knock glasses
Of course.
virtually. Okay?
I look forward to it.
Yes, it was
Take
great. It
care.
was great being with you, Nikki, first time,
Thank
and I
you.
really enjoyed myself in this
Thank
production.
you.
Okay?
Take
So
care.
you
Thank you
take
so
care as
much,
well.
John.
Thanks.
Everybody, John Mussington, right here on Phoenix Free Press tonight. I have some forever aloe vera. Forever is my product placement for tonight's Phoenix Free Press. And we have some Gentleman's Pride. Some aloe moisturizing lotion and some. Take a sip. Hmm. Are you ready for our next guest tonight? On the dot. On the dot. Are you ready for our next guest tonight? Now, our next guest, Kelvin Shuggy Simon. Let's rephrase that. Honorable Kelvin Shuggy Simon. Kelvin is the man. When I say Kelvin is the man, Everybody talks about Kelvin Shuggy Simon. And when I say everybody, everybody, Prime Minister Gaston Brown talk about Kelvin Shuggy Simon, all the ministers, Samantha Marshall. I've never heard Maria Brown speak about Honorable Kelvin Shuggy Simon, but maybe she might have spoken about him too. I don't know. But everybody speaks about Kelvin. I think because of his because of yeah, and also because he's young, energetic. Why am I smiling like this? I have a hot show planned for y'all tonight with all these questions. That's why I'm smiling. But yes, Kelvin won in twice in 1 year, as in the same seat, won the same seat twice in 1 year. And I think that is hands down biggest of the biggest of the biggest. You know, you really need to give him his props for that, with the support of the other candidates and members of the UPP, the supporters of the UPP. But I really believe that there's something unique that is in him with regards to understanding this change and this shift that needs to happen with regards to the mindset of people in Antigua and Barbuda, and how Prime Minister Gaston Brown is running the affairs of Antigua and Barbuda, how he, you know, how he does his due, basically. So, who is the best person to bring at the beginning of the year to come and sit and have a sip and chat with us to speak about the 2% tax, to speak about these threats of lawsuits? Because just a couple of days ago, Kelvin was threatened himself of a possible lawsuit because of sharing a post with regards to Pearl Quinn, who has been sued, and there's been an injunction on her to shut her up and the whole works. Kelvin is here. He's in the house. I'd like you to share the live. I'm going to welcome him now. Good evening, Mr. Kelvin Shuggy Simon. Welcome to Phoenix Free Press.
Nikki, pleasure being on. It's the first time. Last time we tried it, it didn't work out, but it seems as if it's working just fine tonight.
Sound like
I'm
a
happy
line
to
that
be
Gaston
on.
would use, eh? Last time we tried it didn't work out, eh? I'm going to behave. I'm going to behave. Welcome to the platform. I hope you have your drink of choice. What's your drink of choice tonight?
I'm drinking some water tonight.
That's your drink
Boring,
of
huh?
choice. Fine, that's a drink of choice. Let's just, ease our way into our conversation because it's going to get intense. I actually did a script to say, let me read the script. Hear the script. It's my disclaimer for our discussion tonight. I need to find it. Okay, so I said, Mr. Simon, in tonight's discussion, there might be questions that will be uncomfortable for you to address, questions about you personally or your opposition party, the UPP. Please feel free to decline or pass. However, please note that none of my questions or inquiries tonight are to insult, disrespect, or even offend the United Progressive Party. Is my disclaimer good?
It's spot on. Yes, it's good.
It's spot on. So just remember that when we having our conversation tonight, every single time, every single question, just remember that. And remember you're on the live. Remember this live is recorded. I'm just saying. So my question is going to be, the very first question is, tell us about the People's Parliament. I see that the UPP has missed quite a few sessions, parliamentarian sessions. The representatives, those who have won their seats, including yourself, have missed even the budget debate. You didn't attend, and then it was wrapped up. You couldn't attend the Tuesday, I guess, because the government wrapped up on the Monday. You've put out a flyer that you're going to have the People's Parliament on the 18th of January, which is the 1 year anniversary for Prime Minister Gaston Brown winning, elections. What is the People's Parliament?
Well, it's an opportunity. As you know, we were shut out of the national debate. The present government won.
Wait, don't let me in. I'll make notes. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we were shut out of the national debate, budget debate. In Parliament, when we went to Parliament the Friday, the government wanted us to come debate the Monday after the presentation was made on the same Friday. And we told them that that's not reasonable. Usually opposition parties given at least a week to prepare and then come and debate. But they were not willing to give us that time, and we decided that we were not going to participate because it was unfair for us having given us that short amount of time to do the necessary research and so on. So to make it look as if they were compromising, quote unquote, they said the Tuesday. Mark you, the debate was wrapped up by the Monday. So the intention was not even to give us until the Tuesday when you look at it, looking back at it in hindsight. And it was just a disrespect to the opposition, mark you, that we're part of government too. We sit on the opposition side. We were voted into parliament just as they were by the people of their constituency. So we deserve the right to be given the fair amount of time to prepare for a national debate. This is not a bill we're talking about that they're trying to pass. We're talking about the debate, the budget debate that is going to pretty much cast the way forward for the next year. And I think that we were supposed to be given, and my party, all of us as MPs, we think that we were supposed to be given ample amount of time, at least a week. So we told them that we will be prepared to debate on the Thursday, which is actually cutting it short, still by a day. And they were not willing to give us that time. So we decided we were going to stay at home and prepare. And we are still going to present at the People's Parliament. I think the people of Antigua and Barbuda deserve a chance to hear their MPs and to hear our response to the national budget that was presented by the Prime Minister, and also to hear solutions as to how we can cushion the impact of inflation and other issues that we have facing us as a nation. So the people deserve to hear it, and we're going to bring all that information to them come the 18th of this month.
You know, Kelvin, I differ. I differ in the sense of what transpired, and I differ in the sense that the members of the UPP would abstain from Parliament. You said that you were shut out of the national budget debate, but how were you shut out of the national budget debate if you were given the documents? I guess I understand the negotiation with regards to the days and the Monday and so on, but coming down to your last statement, you said that the people deserve a chance to hear their MPs. That was the chance for them to hear their MPs. Wait 1 second. Even with regards to the length of time might not have been enough time for the ministers to prepare. But if we take into consideration that just before this election, Prime Minister Gaston Brown had majority of the seats in Parliament. There was just Jamal Pringle and there was Trevor Walker. And there was not much of an opportunity for the UPP to make a presence, for the UPP to debate on behalf of the various constituents in the various constituencies. And now we're at a situation where you won a number of seats in January 2023. You now have 6 individuals, if you can correct me, 6 individuals sitting there to represent the people and the people's concerns. Why not attend? Why not, even if you have to, as members of Parliament, cancel whatever you're doing and prepare, or at least present or be present?
Now, Nikki, given the complex nature of the budget presentation, we're talking about a lot of figures here that the Prime Minister quoted. And if you, as I said, the presentation took place on a Friday, and they gave us up until the Tuesday. Well, as I said, first the Monday, and then they switched to the Tuesday. Now, I don't know if you have seen the size of these budget estimates. I have a few here that I can actually show you. It's 3 of them that we have to go through page by page most times in order to assess what is being said by the Prime Minister. And not only that, but to do research. In doing research, we would have to depend on, no, this is the size of, this is one, right? This is another. This is a smaller one. This one is for Barbuda, and this is the third one. So we're looking at these 3 books. Are you seeing them?
Yes, of course, I'm seeing them.
Yeah, that we would have to go through in a day's time, one day, because taking into consideration it's the weekend And we can't call business government offices on the weekend. We would have the Monday to do that only, and then prepare for the Tuesday to come to Parliament to debate. Now, as an opposition, we have to come with facts. We can't be debating our fiction or whatever we think or whatever society thinks. So it calls for intense research. As I said, calling government offices, visiting offices, and certain technicians within government department. And sometimes you call and you don't get the information right away. So the more time you have to prepare, the better it is. And in order to mount a strong debate, as they say in life, proper preparation prevents poor performance. We wanted to prepare properly and give the nation hope as it relates to the opposition and prove to Antigua and Barbuda that we're ready to govern as a party. So we decided, and in all reality, it was not an opportunity to flunk, because God knows I wanted to debate. I wanted to shred that presentation apart. And so did the other MPs. But we didn't want to come and not be prepared. So it was unfair to us. It was not according to usual practice. So we decided to take the time to prepare properly for it.
So what's going to happen, since we have already identified that this is the way that Prime Minister Gaston Brown runs the government? He does what he does whenever he does it, whenever he wants to do it, in whatever time frame that he's doing it. So where was the position of the opposition? What's your comeback? What's your play?
Well, we will continue to fight, as was the case with the Alpha Nero. That's a classic example. The morning we went to Parliament and we met the bill on our desk to debate. Normal parliamentary procedure stipulates that you give us at least 7 days to debate the bill. And Alpha Nero bill was placed on our desk the same morning we went into Parliament, not even having a clue that it was going to be there. And they expected us to debate. So we walked out. We were not going to debate that. So we will continue to take those kind of stands, just like the debate, the national budget the other day. We decided to stay at home and prepare. We will continue to make those stands so that Gaston Brown can see that he's not the dictator of this country. There are laws that govern this country. There are laws that govern Parliament. And these laws are supposed to be abided by. It is total disrespect to the constituencies that voted us in as MPs. And he's basically saying that he doesn't care about these people. He's the prime minister for everybody, not just the seats that he won and the people that reside in those constituencies. He has to say about the affairs of every person in Antigua and Barbuda, regardless of if the Labour Party didn't win a seat or if they won the seat. He's still the prime minister for everybody, and everybody deserves a
Is that internet? Whose internet is that? Hello out there. Are you there? Kelvin? Kelvin is frozen. It's not me. It's not me. Kelvin.
Yeah, I think I lost you there for a bit.
It was a good frozen look on the screen. I'm just saying. I wasn't scared and I didn't want to run. I stayed. I stayed, Kelvin. you know the comments that you made, especially the latter part of your comments when you mention about their laws, and the country need to be governed by laws. Prime Minister Gaston Brown need to understand that it needs to be a clear message. I definitely agree with that, but I don't think that your solution, the UPP solution of walking out every single time, because that's just going to be how the prime minister and his ministers are going to be able to get whatever they want to get done. They're going to push things through when you're not present. It's like if you weren't even there from before. So you can respond and rebut, but there is a representation that needs to be there. There is a challenge that needs to happen. Now, you said that the People's Parliament, this is the People's Parliament, the UPP is planning and preparing for the People's Parliament. But what from the People's Parliament, or how are you going to use the People's Parliament to get the government to reconsider the 2% tax, or reconsider these different implementations, or anything that you're going to bring right now? How do you plan to do that?
See, in dealing with a person with the mentality of the prime minister, even if we stay in parliament, usually the ayes have it in parliament. We on the opposition bench, we have 8 seats. They have 9. So even if we challenge whatever and they still decide to push it through, we can't do anything about it because we sit with less seats than they do. So even if we stay in parliament and debate it and they want to pass it, there is nothing that we can do about it, and that's just the reality of
So
the situation.
are we
But
better off with the opposition or not? Because if you're not there or you're there, nothing happening.
let me make my point. What we don't agree with is the disrespect, and we will not be disrespected by Gaston Brown and his administration. The norm is that we get time to mount a proper debate, and we want that time. It's not that we don't want a debate. Everybody wants a debate, but sometimes you just have to take a stand, Nikki. I mean, it hurts me that I could not stand in the House of Representatives to deliver my debate. I want to look him eyeball to eyeball and tell him everything that I want to say, him and his other colleagues. But at the same time, you take a stand because we deserve to be respected. We deserve to be given the amount of time that we need in order to mount a proper debate and to prepare for a debate. Because at the end of the day, we come out and debate and we don't debate as strong. It is still criticism. So might as well we just prepare, and we are prepared to bring that same debate, the level of debate and preparation, to the people on the 18th of this month. And they'll see that we're not just sitting by idling, we're paying attention to all the details, and we would have mounted all the points that we need to hammer home as relates to the negligence of Gaston Brown and his administration. And it will all be heard on the 18th of this month. We're ready for that.
And what's going to happen after?
Well, the objective of any proper opposition is to open people's eyes. And we want to have information, factual information, to open the people's eyes so that the public can see that these people are not loving as they claim to be. They're not caring as they claim to be. And they're just about self-enrichment and doing whatever they please with taxpayers' money and running the country as if they're running their own personal business. No accountability, no proper structure. It's just them and their cronies benefiting on the backs of the poor class in this country. And we want to bring that fact, not only by talking, but by proper example, figures, research that we would have done, and information that we would have gotten from different government departments, to show the public that they're not running the country the way that they should. It's just a bunch of fake promises and fluff.
Remember my disclaimer. So my next question. Many people would say, and they're of the view, that the UPP is a weak opposition. It doesn't make sense to have the UPP. The UPP is very dismantled. There's no proper leadership. No disrespect to Jamal Pringle. These are comments and statements from Prime Minister Gaston Brown himself, comments and statements that you would see on Facebook, comments and statements that you would see from the citizenry saying that we need a stronger opposition, and we need to see the opposition doing more than just piggybacking from other instances where somebody else would raise an issue or raise a concern. You are a member of the opposition, so I expect you to say, no, you're not a weak opposition. But I'd love for you to respond to such comments.
Well, first of all, Gaston Brown is never, ever going to utter a word out of his mouth to make UPP look good. That's just the fact of it. Even if we do everything that is right, Gaston Brown will not ever give us a compliment. So I don't expect him to say anything different. What I know, though, is that the last election was very telling. If people did not believe in the United Progressive Party, we would not have gained the amount of seats that we got in the last general election. Going into the election, we had 1 seat. Coming out of the election, we had 6.
And
so we would have
9,000 additional votes too, just to add some facts.
Exactly. So if we were that weak, as he claimed that we are, the people of Antigua and Barbuda would not have voted 5 additional MPs for the United Progressive Party back to Parliament. So, as I said, he's not going to say anything to make us look as if we're a formidable force as an opposition. It is his job to make us look bad. But the people of Antigua and Barbuda, they know different, they see different, and they voted last election. A 6 votes and win the election by Nikki. 6. 6 votes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My 2-year-old know to count to 6. To 10 actually.
And how we so you got it strong, then would win 1 seat. But and as I said, coming from where UPP was before the election, is single Pringle alone was in Parliament, along with Trevor, the independent seat for
Well,
Barbuda.
we have all the flavors, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's
all
just a one thing. Exactly. It's well flavored.
So let's talk about the leadership of the UPP. We're talking about Pringle and the leadership of the UPP. What's happening with the UPP's convention? When will there be a convention?
Well, no date have been earmarked for the convention. We know that it has to happen. It's something that we talk about as a party, but we just have to set the date for it. And when the date comes, then the people will decide, because it's a democratic system. We live in a democratic country, and the voice of the people is always the voice of God. So whoever the people want to lead, they'll come out and vote for that individual, and
Right.
the rest of the country will just have to.
I know that's a kind of answer that you can give everybody else on another platform. So let me dig a little deeper and ask the question better. Because like you don't get the question, you just try to give me one of them knock up kind of response. Now the leadership for the UPP, the leadership convention was due in June of last year, I think, according to my notes, or a little bit before. There's no mention of when that will happen. There are a couple of people who've been mentioned running for the leadership, such as Richard Lewis, Sean Bird. I might have heard Pearl Quinn's name, Serpent Watts. Of course, there's Jamal Pringle there. Are you interested in the leadership of the UPP?
Well, it's not something that I'm paying attention to right now, Nikki, to be honest.
That's not the answer. Yes or no? Are you interested in the leadership of the UPP? Yes or no?
As I said, if I'm not paying attention to it right now, it's not something that that's on the top of my head. I mean, I don't discredit or discount the fact that I know that I'm capable of whatever I put my mind to, but at the same time, it's not a focus on me right now. We are at a stage in the party right now where we're just trying to go from strength to strength, and whoever is there as a leader right now, I'm just supporting. And if the leader is supposed to change, my name is not officially in the ring. You would have called some names that you heard that are vying for the leadership. I don't know if you heard my name, but as I said, my name is not officially in the ring. If it's going to be in there, the future is long and wide.
The reason why I ask again is because you have a very strong following. You have a very strong, and we have to really acknowledge it. You have a very strong presence in the UPP. The UPP knew what they were doing when they brought you on board. They just knew, you brought a different flavor. You brought life. You brought some energy. You brought the youthfulness back to the UPP. And these are just all facts. Let's just be real about that. Now, a lot of conversations surrounding the revival, like they say, the UPP needs a bit more spunk. They need to be a bit more on the ball. They need to be a bit more on it to deal with the kind of character and personality of Prime Minister Gaston Brown in the atmosphere or the arena as politicians. You tend to emanate that kind of energy because of the kind of effect that you have on Prime Minister Gaston Brown. I think you've seen that yourself too, and some of the other members, with everything that the Prime Minister would do, the many times that he would speak about you, the thousands of your pictures that he put on his Facebook page.
Nikki, man, you don't get sued, man. You said thousands right now. he's with so many people.
So I think if you vie for the leadership, you got good standing. I mean, sorry, winning your seat, the same seat in St. Mary twice, it just in months apart, basically shows. It shows that you have the chops, hands down. So if anyone is giving you a nudge and telling you, and let people know the comments are off, I see the comments blowing up, but I turn off the comments just so I could have focused and say the things I'm saying. Because if I only touch those comments, I get distracted. I'm
Oh,
not
no.
going there yet. People, I'm
I
not
don't
reading the
want to be
comments.
distracted at all.
Y'all have fun in the comments. I'm not reading the comments. Okay, I'm not reading the comments. Not right now. So yes, if you're being nudged, to head in that direction, I think that you should, be a little bit more serious about it and take it serious and see where it goes from there. And I'm genuinely saying that. And I say the same thing to Jamal Pringle, because Jamal Pringle should not be forgotten for the work that he's done over the years for the UPP as the single Pringle, and we have to recognize that the amount of growth that he's just, he's been on an upward trajectory, and it should be commended for him. But there are other individuals too who have been, whispering their own interest in the leadership. And it's open. I don't think that it should just be one person, despite the prime minister saying about 2 elections ago that he'll just, run once and let somebody else run. But the UPP can be different with regards to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I totally agree with you. I mean, as I said, my mind is open. I'm not shutting out my mind as relates to that. And as he's rightfully said, Jamal, he's a very good guy. We would have seen his growth in leap and bounds. It's not easy to sit in parliament with a team, much less to be there by yourself. And I admire his strength that he showed in that term that he was just there facing all these different MPs on the other side. It takes character, it takes strength, it takes a certain level of resilience to be able to combat all these guys over there. I can only imagine. I would have been maybe shaking in my boots for the first couple of times, just being there looking over on the other side with a full slate of candidates, and there's only him and Trevor over there. So yes, he has grown tremendously, and I respect him. I really do respect him, and I admire his strength that he would have shown over the years. But as you rightfully said, it shouldn't be just one person going up. It's a democracy, as I keep saying, at the end of the day. And the people within the party that vote will decide the leader. And I'm sure all that will be gauged and hinged on the public's response. Because at the end of the day, we want to have a leader that the public is comfortable following. Because while we have people voting within the party, then it is the wider public that will determine who wins the election. And most times, the leader, the way the leader leads, will determine how comfortable people are in following. So all these things must be taken into consideration. And at the end of the day, we as a party will just have to stay united and rally around whoever emerges as a leader.
Yes, definitely. For the People's Parliament on the 18th of January, who are the presenters? And is Harold Lovell looking to make a comeback?
No, the chief, the former boss, he's done with it. He's not coming back at all. He sits and he advises us as MPs. He's a man that is filled with knowledge, Nikki. And if I had half the amount of knowledge that he had, I mean, I'd be a super MP. But he's one of our, somebody that we call on all the time for information and for advice. He's like a godfather to all of us as MPs, and it's somebody that we emulate a lot. Um, for the People's Parliament, all of us, all MPs will be presented, including Assad and MP Walker also. So it will be 8 of us. We're still in the process of putting together who's going to be the Speaker of the House. We have a few toss-up names, but we haven't decided who was yet. We're trying to make it as real as possible.
Okay.
And follow all the parliamentary procedures also. bearing in mind that we don't have parliamentary immunity. So we have to be very careful with what we say. And the
Yes.
Prime Minister is already part of suing, so maybe he might just have to add a few more names to the list if we step out of line. But it's something that we
So the
guarding
suing,
against, we guarding against it.
the suing, have you received your letters yet? Because there's been a threat that you would be sued also because you shared the post from Pearl Quinn.
I haven't received anything as yet, Nikki. I'm still waiting. My lawyer team is ready to respond, but we haven't gotten anything as yet.
Okay. Hold on. I have more questions for you. I actually do. Let's
Believe
check
you.
the comments, eh? What you said?
I believe you.
Believe me, eh? If I didn't, I wouldn't name Nikki. If I didn't, I wouldn't name Nikki.
No, it's very candid. I like that.
Somebody's asking, what does the post say? We're not going to repeat it. We're not going to repeat it. Just so you know, we're not going to repeat
You
it.
don't want to be sued, man. I don't
You
want
know
Nikki
what I
to be
mean? Oh, what a joke, yeah. We are not going to repeat it. You're going to have to go back. All right. All right. So, Shuggy, buckle up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking to see if there's any questions. If there's no questions, if there are no questions here, we're about to ask our final few questions to wrap up tonight's program. If there are no questions, if you have questions, send them. I'm looking to see if you have any questions. 1 second, Shuggy.
It's amazing.
Some, some. There's a comment here. From the time you joined the live, I thought it, but somebody said it.
What's that thought?
The comment says, Shuggy, care that Jack. Your button a cry. I thought it. When you came, I thought it, but the comment says it. So you guys are on point. You guys are on point, man.
I got the ease of the push-ups.
You know? Oh my goodness. Hey, there's so many comments here. You see, I see Nafil Burnett saying, Shuggy, you have it down packed. You're getting a lot of support. Guys, don't stop leaving your comments. They're quite interesting. It's fun tonight. Oh my goodness. Hold on. All right. Buckle up, guys. Shuggy.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, my sponsor for tonight is like aloe vera face and body. It's aloe avocado face and body soap. And then there's the Gentleman's Pride. And then I have some aloe deodorant. This one is really, really good. Really good, really natural. Smells really nice. Doesn't have any of the preservatives and so on inside. So when I said, Shuggy is coming on, and I have these things, I got to prepare questions for that. If I didn't, Shuggy, I would not be Nikki. So our closing questions for tonight. You took a sip already, right? Everybody take a sip. Every person on the live, if you have your drink of choice, take a sip because you're going to need it.
Including me.
Yeah, take a sip. You're going to need it. All right. So the first question for our closing chat tonight, Shuggy, what's your beard routine? What's the routine to keep the beard sorted? What's the beard routine, Shuggy?
So constant washing and conditioning, and I have a product that I usually get from Superpower, like a leave-in conditioner that keeps it soft and moist. And I make sure I comb on a regular basis so that I can eliminate the knots. And our black people here go like a nappy sometimes. That's right.
Is there anybody massaging the beard? Like massage it for you? Like, just no help? You get help?
I do it myself. I
You
do
don't
it
get no
myself. And
help?
I shape it myself too. I'm a barber. Well, I used to do barbering, but the skills don't go. I still
Mhm.
have my tools, so I shape it up myself and clip it and all of that on a regular basis or whenever the need arises for that. So it's me. I do
All right. Take another sip.
everything.
The next question I have here. Why are we supposed to be having fun? It's Saturday night. Your children need to be in bed, okay? I just letting y'all know. So the next question as we're wrapping up. Because you know why, Shuggy? I have the privilege. It's my platform. It's an independent platform. I own it. Okay? I
That's
can
right.
say that proudly. And
That's my
since
lawsuit.
since I've heard of Shuggy on the scene, I've never seen, you do any interview where anybody asks you these questions. I know they might have
Mhm.
thought it. I know they want to know. So nobody asking. I'm going to ask. Hold on. The next question. What does it take behind the scenes to keep the sexy?
Well, I'm a natural athlete. I still play basketball at the highest level in the country, first division, and I have a very rigid gym routine. You go to the gym
Taking out the
practically
comments.
5 days per week. In the mornings, I work out for at least an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. Includes cardio, weightlifting. So it keeps my body in shape, and it's mostly for health reasons. I'm a personal trainer. I studied the art of training and the importance of fitness and exercise. So I make it a part of my daily routine to at least get my heart rate up because I understand the importance of the heart pumping blood with oxygen to the muscles and all of that. So it's just a lifestyle for me now. I do it without even thinking about it, to be honest.
I'm not turning on the comments. I see them coming in there. I've not turned them on before I give them an opportunity to ask their last question. I have another question. What's your ideal hottie? Like a hottie. What's your ideal hottie? Everybody wants to know. I'm sure. I want to know. It's only fair. Everybody want to know.
Well, for me personally, I like females that take care of themselves. That's very important. Self love and self care, and in every aspect, is very important. We have only one body, and we should take care of it as best as we can. Meaning like exercising regularly, eating right, getting the right required amount of sleep, and all of that. Mentally, also, we should also make time for our mental break, our mental day. Cassie, are taking a mental day. That song, right? So we have to make sure the holistic person is intact. So yeah, those things tickle my fancy pretty much. I like people that love themselves, or women that love themselves.
Definitely. So you kind of give a rounded answer. I kind of know that you were going to give that. So in the media at the moment, there is this back and forth. There's a big versus battle. I don't know if you've been too busy to follow with Jada Kingdom and Steph London. Have you been following?
I've heard about it, but no, I haven't been following it, so I don't know the details of it.
You see, if you since you haven't been following, I can't ask you the question, Team Steph Lazarus or Team Twinkle. I can't ask you that question because you don't know.
I'm already lost. I'm already lost there.
I see everybody here. Some people like Denise being very tight, tight up tonight. And she's like, oh, Nikki, ask serious questions, please. Why? Weren't we asking the serious questions?
Of course.
Of course, we were asking the serious questions. So what happened? Just live a little. Shuggy, please take a sip.
Cheers.
Indeed. Thank you very much for joining us here on Phoenix Free Press tonight. Again, I think it's a discussion that you can have, a discussion you can have with your UPP members, is that it's the representation is important. I know that the UPP is putting together the People's Parliament, but there must be some other strategy along with your walking out, or along with your protesting of abstaining from Parliament, or however you choose to do it. But in some way, you can, or the UPP can and should let the general public know that they're present, they're not weak. They shouldn't appear as a weak opposition. And there is potential for change to happen in Antigua and Barbuda through the driving force of the members of the UPP.
Totally agree. And I would reiterate again that we are in no way weak as an opposition. I know that the prime minister, he might not admit it, but he knows that he's going to lose the next general election. He knows. He sees it coming and he cannot avoid it. It will happen. And I know he's shaken up by the fact that he does not have that cushion in parliament as he had before. He's not going to come to the media and show weakness. I know for sure. Narcissists are not like that. They're going to show strength all the time. I'm a trained counselor, so I understand pretty much the mind of these type of people. He will make it look as if, just as the by-election in St. Mary's South, if you were not from St. Mary's South, you would think that they made get a bother league over here. You would think that they're gonna mash me over here, Nikki, just by the impression that this prime minister came to the public with. But then being on the ground, I was not even worried in one way or the other, because I know that there's no way they can beat me in St. Mary's South. But the impression that he gave was that I was going to lose. He was even willing to bet that I was going to lose. But it's just who he is. He will make his case look like the best case, but we know different. We know that he's going down the next general election. We know that.
Let me check my WhatsApp to make sure I haven't been missing any messages, because I see that they're saying that there are questions, but I've been scrolling through and I'm not seeing the questions. I see comments with regards to young people and young people being voted as members of parliament. How many of the members within the UPP at the moment is over 45?
Not maybe,
Because you have six, you have five or six, you have five or six members of the UPP.
we have six MPs. Three are over the age of 45 and 3 are under.
Okay. And you have an idea of the ages for the ABLP?
If we were supposed to look at, if we were supposed to look at the average age, they're averaging maybe 75. When you look at the age, I'm just kidding.
You got me.
When you look at Malwin age and Robin age and Cutie age, that takes the bar really high as relates to the age.
Yes.
So they have a way older cabinet than we do. No doubt about that.
Okay. Is the UPP considering bringing more younger members on board and also more women? Are there any of the female candidates? Because I know that Pearl Quinn Williams, she didn't win her seat, but she is forced to be reckoned with. There is Gladys, good buddy girl, Gladys. I'm just saying, you don't say anything, you don't comment, you just let me say it.
Yes.
Anybody else that's interested? Any other female that's maybe upcoming, that's being groomed at the moment, being, schooled?
Well, we have females in the party, no doubt, that show political aspiration. As is right now, none of the candidates are replaced as yet. I don't know if it's going to be the same slate going into the next election, but everybody is still sitting as caretakers of the various constituencies. But their interests coming in fast pace from a wide cross section of society, male and female alike. And we're open to having people come in and apply for candidacy. We're not a closed-minded institution, and we believe in growth, especially where young people are concerned. I think one of the problems that we have in Antigua and Barbuda is that old people just don't know when to go home, and the system itself facilitates that. I think that at 65 and so on, it's time for people to go home and enjoy the last days of their lives and leave the scene. And at the same time, while you're there, you have a younger person understudying you so that they can take over and take over with proper pedigree. Um, if you look in the government sector, even if you look at the ABLP side, there are a lot of people there that should be on retirement and that occupying government office, taking up space for people within the younger generation. And it's a problem that we see in government, not only, as I said, in cabinet, but throughout the government sector. It's something that needs to be fixed. It's very discouraging to young people that would have gone to college and put in the years of studies and then to come back and have some person that is supposed to be in retirement still there, not going home. It's not a good look for our country, and it doesn't instill the necessary confidence in the younger generation coming up. We have to put them on the scene. We have to create a space for them, or else we're going to lose them. They're not going to stick around. We've seen it in many circles, in many instances where they choose to go overseas and make a life for themselves because they think that they're here and they can't get any way up the ladder. There's no upward mobility. And it's a really sad situation, but it's something that we need to fix ASAP.
You know, when you said about making applications to become a member of the UPP and creating opportunities, that was not the story from Dwayne George. Dwayne George said that he's been with the UPP. He hasn't had an opportunity. You didn't give him space to grow, as you would say, and he's over with the ABLP now. Yeah, ABLP. And there's also Jermaine Lewis. I think Jermaine Lewis is one of the now a potential candidate also on the ABLP. And quite a few people left the UPP and now are with the ABLP.
As you can see, a lot of people are opportunists, Nikki, and I'll give you my personal example where waiting my turn is concerned because I came forward as a candidate since 2017. I joined the United Progressive Party, and there was Cartwright Marshall before me. I decided to work along with him, and then this election, now I came forward again, the last one in January last year,
Yeah,
and he was still there, and I decided to work along with him. There was also Dwayne George, as you said, that was there next to him. What gave me the nod, though, is that the wider community wanted me. They decided that they wanted me to be the candidate. And the party, any political party is going to make a decision based on scientific evidence, data. Polls were run, and in every poll that was run, at least 4 I can recall, I was leading every candidate by at least 3 votes to 1. So why would they not choose me over anybody else if I'm leading the polls 3 votes to 1? And these are narratives that he would not put in the public domain because it would shoot down his argument. He's trying to make the party look as if they did him a grave injustice. There was no injustice. Me and him had a conversation before I was a candidate. And we had an open discussion. Well, I thought it was open and honest, but coming to find out it wasn't really on his part, where he said to me, Shuggy, if you're the candidate, if you become the candidate, at that time the party was deliberating on removing Mr. Marshall because of his illness. And we had an open dialogue. I remember the day that it happened and the way it happened to. And he was like, Shuggy, if it's you, I'm going to support you. And I said, likewise, if it's you, I'm going to give him my full support. And we know how it all played out. So some people are just in this for an opportunity for themselves, Nikki, and not really about serving people. Because how is it that I can be shooting down an administration, a leader, saying all sort of things about them? That is factual about the way in which they run in the country in a negative way. And then an opportunity come for me to run over there and I just jump and go. I don't get it. ABLP came after me before I was a candidate. They knew that I wanted to run. And at the time, Mr. Marshall was still the candidate. They came after me. They came with offers. They offered me senator position. They offered me cash. They offered me to run in either St. Mary's South or St.
And you
Mary's
don't get
North.
through, you know.
Me nah get sued cause the truth me chat. Me nah lie. I am talking the truth, dead truth. And I refuse them because the message that ABLP is coming with is not a message that I can identify with. The country needs change, and I cannot be on a bandwagon with a prime minister who is not about the good for the people. So I refused the offers, and I sat and waited until I got the chance to run on a UPP ticket, and I took it. And the rest was history.
This 2% tax is a major, major concern for all in Antigua and Barbuda. Not those that have the 2-3 jobs and they're linked to the politicians and people. But this 2% tax is a major, major concern. What is the UPP going to do about it? What cause and effect? Like, what is the objective overall with regards to this people's parliament, and what can be done? What can the UPP get the government to do in backtracking, in reconsidering, in stepping back, in doing something to on behalf of the poor people in Antigua and Barbuda?
We, as I said in my earlier discourse, we as an opposition party, we exist to bring the facts to the people and to open people's eyes as relates to the issues that are plaguing us as a nation. The 2% added to the ABST is nothing short of criminal, Nikki. When you listen to the Prime Minister in his budget presentation, the growth that he talked about of our economy, the increased revenue at the port, the amount of tourists that are coming now via cruise ship, the amount of cruise ships that are coming. Why is there a need for a 2% increase if the country is growing by leaps and bounds based on his words? It is just not justifiable. When you listen to the budget presentation, it gives every reason why the government should not add a 2% tax to the ABST. There's no justification. Coupled with the fact that the Prime Minister said on his radio station that the problem is a compliance problem. And he said in the previous budget statement the year before that they were going to correct or tighten the grip on compliance, on wastage. These things were not done. It's not like they did it and they realized that there's still a shortfall, so they have to tax the people further. He admitted that he knows what the problem is, but he doesn't want to upset the apple cart. He knows who are not paying. They know the companies that are not paying the ABST. Some almost 50% of ABST is not being collected in Antigua and Barbuda. So why now bring a 2% tax to the people? Go and hunt down the people that are not paying the taxes and leave poor people alone. Take his hand out of the pockets of the poor people and give people the power to spend their money. Listen, I cringe at going to the supermarket now, Nick. I bought some parts for a car the other day, and the parts came up to roughly $300 and maybe $50 or so. And at least 50% of that total is ABST.
What? 50% is like half of that. That's more than 150. He's talking about more than 175.
Sorry, not 50%. $50. Sorry, $50.
Oh, $15.
At least 50 was ABST. I have the receipts I can show you.
I see people have been complaining even about the KFC. I saw that Abigail leave a message here about KFC, but I see people have been saying even the cost of KFC is good, just gone through the roof.
Taxes are crazy, and I don't think people as yet grasp the grim reality of it. What I would like to see in Antigua and Barbuda, Nikki, and I think we as an opposition, as I said, we're here to enlighten the people and to open the people's eyes. Antigua and Barbuda people need to be more vigilant. We need to pay more attention to the things that really bother us. Now, the other day, I'll give you an example of how tuned out we are as relates to the issues and how tuned in we are as relates to the nonsense that cannot get us by. That there was a list the other day that came out with the influential people for 2023. Myself, I saw my picture on the stuff that I don't know if you saw it.
I saw it on Antigua
Um,
Newsroom.
right. Almost every page on Facebook, or almost every person on Facebook had something to say about that list. Who should make the list? Who shouldn't make the list? Why is this person not on there? This person doesn't um, deserve to be on there. And in my mind, I'm like, how is this list important? Why is it so important that everybody have to voice their opinion on it? But the 2% tax that is crippling everybody, hardly anybody is saying anything about it. We as a nation have to be more tuned into the issues. And change is not going to come with this administration until we as Antiguans and Barbados, whether we live here or we're from here, stand up and fight for the benefit of this country. Talk too much in Antigua, Nikki. And talking is not getting us anywhere. We have to demonstrate. When you call protest, nobody show up, but
Somebody
everybody
said it in
grumble.
the comments. Somebody said it in the comments just now.
Yeah, nobody showing up. Look at the other day, there was a protest at Dunbar's. I was expecting to see hundreds of farmers over there. If 10 with it, plenty with it. And these are the kind of things that will make Gaston Brown and his administration continue to operate as if they run the show and they call the shots, because people are not coming out and talking and voicing their opinion and have a problem with the real issues that we face in Antigua and Barbuda. They talk too much. Time for action. I think by now, St. John's is supposed to be flooded with people on a daily basis protesting that tax when it was first announced, and make the
But
government see
it
that
can
the
still
people are
happen.
not.
It can still happen. It's 13
Yeah.
days in, and even for businesses who have bookings from the previous year, this effective January 1st does not apply to them at the moment because they're trying to negotiate. They're trying to ask for some kind of delay in the implementation. So, what can the UPP do? I mean, the UPP is the opposition. How can the UPP, engage and rally the people to get something happening?
Well, first of all, you have to understand, and I keep saying it, I'm a politician, but the power doesn't lie within the politician. The power lies within the people. And people have to understand the value of their vote and the value of their voice. Because governments can only get away with what the people allow them to get away with. And I keep saying, as Antiguans and Barbudans, we are too soft and too accepting when it comes to the government doing whatever they feel to do. There is no way in a real country that this can happen and people are not flooding the streets. Change is not going to come unless people fight. But in Antigua and Barbuda, people want to sit and relax and other people fight for them. And I say, as a politician, we have to prove to the government that the people rule and not the MPs who are voted in, because we are only there because of the people. And the day they decide to vote us out, we have no power, we have no say, we have no voice. So the people have to stand up for what they want, rather than having one man running the show. And we as an opposition, we have to, try to instill that kind of mentality within people in order to see change. It's not going to happen if we just keep talking. It's definitely not going to happen.
I'm seeing some comments and a discussion in the comment section with regards to with a suggestion of shutting down the country. That would you do you agree with that? Do you support that?
Well, Nikki, whatever it takes for change to come, whatever it takes for Gaston Brown and his administration to get the message, we should go that way. If it means shutting it down, let us shut it down. Because if the country is shut down, then he knows for sure that the citizenry is not happy, and the citizenry wants change. And I'm for that. If it comes to that, let's do it. No,
I'm seeing the comments here that I'm seeing comments here where people are not agreeing with that idea because one person, Tika here, she's basically saying crippling the economy, and if that's what we want.
it's not crippling the economy, and this is the mentality that we have to get away from. How can shutting down the country for 1 day, 2 days cripple an economy? COVID came for a year plus, and the economy is bouncing back, right? You're shutting it down because you want to send a message. We're not accepting whatever they're giving to us. It's not crippling the economy. How can a economy be crippled for a couple of days if the country is shut down? It's sending a message so that the government can relent. And if we keep thinking like that, then change is not going to come. It is
So
not.
will the UPP push for this? Will the UPP take this into consideration and with regards to 1 year, would you push for that?
Well, this is my personal opinion, Nikki. And I know some people within the party think like I do. It's something that we have to discuss as a party. But at the same time, even if we decide that we're going to go that way, and the people of the country is not for it, then we can't get anywhere. The MPs, 6 of us, including Assad and Trevor, we can't shut down the country. It calls for the people to rally and to get fed up of what's going on, and prove to the government that we're not accepting it. And then that's the way change is going to come. You think if for example, taxi man decided now run, bus man decided now run, nobody can get to work, tourists can't go away. You think that that's not going to cause the government to rethink certain things?
There was actually
But
there's an issue at the airport right now. I saw the article today between taxi drivers and immigration and so on today at the airport.
Yeah, and these are things that will definitely cause them to relent and to rethink and to listen. Because one of the problems that we face, and I think one of the major problems that we face in this country, is that the government doesn't consult. Government does whatever they want to do, and people should just accept. I listened to MP Nicholas the other day, and he said straight up concerning the lands in Dundas, people can just talk all they want, eventually get dead. This is the mentality of these people. So no matter how much I talk, in their minds we will stop talking. And when I then stop talk, whatever them plan, they just keep going with it. And to me, that's a disrespect to democracy. Because if people are crying out, then it's up to the government to listen, not just say, oh, eventually they're gonna tap talk, so let's just continue with war. Total disrespect. And many people listen to that and have no issues. How can we run a nation like that? We cannot continue to live like this in Antigua and Barbuda, or else it's just not going to get any better.
Certainly. I'm really happy that you joined us. I had a lot of fun. They said I was smiling and blushing, but so what? So what? I did what they couldn't do. I didn't want to do it, eh? But I have to wrap up the live talking about no disrespect. Every Saturday at 10 p.m. is J Truth Live. Okay, the Truth Live is live, and I need to be on that live too. So we gotta wrap up. I give him the support all the time. We need to just respect the space and the place. But Shuggy, I want you to know that I did a little video. Again, I'm just going to rub it in. I did a little video a couple of months ago during the campaign between yourself and Dwayne George, because, Prime Minister Gaston Brown was saying, that Dwayne George looked better than Shuggy, and everybody was like, you remember when he said that? You remember? Yeah. He said that, Dwayne
I'm
George
the one that
looked better
recorded
than...
it, actually.
Eh? What do you say?
I'm the one that recorded that whole video when he was just talking all crazy.
Dwayne George looked better than Shuggy. Well, I just have to say, when that was happening, I actually came up with my own little song, and I said, put a little Shuggy in my cup, a little Shuggy in my cup, a little Shuggy in my cup, and stir it all up, stir. Take a sip. I hope you had fun.
I enjoyed this, man. But before I go, I just wanted to say thanks again to my people in St. Mary's. So, as I said, these people are the real MPPs. I mean, Gaston Brown, ABLP, they threw everything after the people in St. Mary's. So, kitchen sink and all. They spent over $1 million in St. Mary's. So,
Mind
and
you,
still,
get sued.
yeah, they did.
No, I was saying, mind you, get sued. You got to be sure of the numbers. You got to be sure of everything right now.
They spent plenty money in infrastructure and giveaway. Plenty money. But the people stood tall, and I'm so proud to be the representative of these lovely people. I mean, I wouldn't choose another constituency for anything, Mickey. I mean, it's a pleasure to walk in St. Mary's South with my head up tall and my chest out big. And just it's just a people that I love. I wish half of Antigua had the mentality of the people in St. Mary's. So we'll be a blue government today if that was the case. But I know the fever started and it's going to spread throughout Antigua.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Kelvin Shuggy Simon, Honorable Kelvin Shuggy Simon from the United Progressive Party. And it's not a plug for the UPP when I say the People's Parliament on the 18th of January, but I am very intrigued to see what you're going to present. And again, the bar need to be raised with the UPP, your presentation, your presence as an opposition. I mean, we got to go back to the drawing board at some point and really create some very unique strategies, to really relieve the people from what's happening, and it's having the government hold itself accountable. And that's not really happening right now. Just like you said, I was the person that asked Melford Nicholas the question regarding Dunbars. And he basically said that it will die by the wayside. They will die talking, not figuratively, I guess, or whatever you were saying. But such a statement basically says that you're not heard. Your concern is like
people. That's what he's saying. To hell with the people.
Yeah. So we need to change that kind of mindset, and I trust that we can continue to be open and have more conversations like these on different platforms. And for yourself, I say congratulations to you again. 2 elections in 1 year, you won both seats. That's a big deal. That certainly is a big deal. So thank you very, very much for joining me this evening. Joining us, all of us.
Thanks for the invite. It's a pleasure. Feel free to invite me again. I had a good time on you.
You want more blushing and comments and stuff. That's what you're coming back for. All right. Now I'll think about it. All right.
Do that and let me know. All right, thanks.
Take care. All right, guys. All right, that's it. Thank you, Shuggy. Guys, you need to get you some aloe avocado face and body soap. And this is from the Forever Aloe Gel and everything aloe you can get. The deodorant, the Gentleman's Pride, and of course, all the creams. You can get them. And guys, I ran out of time because I didn't get to show you guys my sponsor for this evening too. Can we have some really, really amazing? But we gotta go. Yeah, we're gonna go. But we get some amazing Bernie Harris. If you're disappointed with this interview, we thank you for that comment and join in the live. Bernie, thank you, Bernie Harris, my love. Thank you for joining and for the comments too. It brings our numbers up. Thank you. Here you go. Yeah. Thank you, Bernie. You want something now? Yes, you're always giving away. Since I've been giving away, Anna's been in my WhatsApp. Promoting. I'm gonna hook you guys up. Yeah? But we gotta go. We got to go. I'm gonna do a little post on it and let you guys know and show you the whole works and the whole works and the whole. Oh, just need to turn the other way. Yeah. And the whole works and the whole works. Yes, my lovely people. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the love. Thank you for joining us tonight here on Phoenix Free Press, our very first program. I'm doing some email invitations for our guests. One of the guests I'm looking to bring is Prime Minister Gaston Brown. Let's see if he accepts the invitation, and we're going to bring him here so he can speak about this 1 year into the third term, to rebut, to give us responses, to answer to the people, to come and, speak his truth right here on Phoenix Free Press with all of us, our platform. This is our own. How does that sound? This is for Ari. This is us. This is ours. All right, guys. So thank you very much for joining the live tonight. Thank you for your love and for your support. Share the live because those who didn't get a chance to catch it, they might have been at the One Nation concert or presently at the One Nation concert, but they can catch up afterwards. Girl, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put this comment here. I'm going to put this comment here. Abigail. Abby. Hmm? Hmm? All right. Love you guys so much. We need to go and jump on J Truth's live right now on his drama live. Let me go, let me go, let me go. Over there, over there, over there. Love you guys. Blessings. Much love. DWO to the world. R.I.P. Ricardo Drew. And Nikki, his mom. Blessings and love always. Love you guys. Stay strong. Stay blessed. We'll link up again for another live. Soonest, as soon as possible. I will. Later.